Well, good afternoon. This special convocation to matriculate the members of the Boston University class of 2017 is now in order. I'm Kenneth Elmore, the Dean of Students, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you officially to Boston University. To begin, I ask Reverend Dr. Robert Allen Hill, Dean of Marsh Chapel, to deliver today's invocation. Reverend Hill.
Let us bow together in prayer. Dear Lord, as we step forward into this new season, may we walk together, aware of those who have come before us back to 1839, and those too who lived a dream before us back in 1963. As we set foot in this new semester, a small step for each individual, but a giant one for a class of 3,800. Help us to carry with us a humble gratitude for those parents and others who helped launch us, who have guided our trajectory thus far, and who have funded our freedom here. As we walk together soon under the leaves of autumn and another year, let us say a quiet word in prayer for those in Boston who knew real loss this past April, who knew pain then and fear then, damage then and death then, here in Boston a few months ago under the bright buds of springtime. As we lean forward into this open new range of experience, a year of learning, the promise, privilege, gift, joy of another year of learning, let us do so with measured steps, steps that keep the rhythm of health, follow the trail of goodness, and balance the left foot of adventure with the right foot of prudence. As we sally forth, dear Lord, may we walk together, neither racing ahead nor lagging behind, but running together the race that is set before us, watching daily for kindness to receive, kindness to share, kindness for others, during this quest for learning and virtue and piety. O Lord, bless us, we pray, with this spirit of remembrance, of gratitude, of compassion, of prudence, of kindness, all year long. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Hill. Please be seated. I am now pleased to introduce Mr. Dexter L. McCoy, who is entering his senior year at Boston University. Coming from Houston, Texas, he is a broadcast journalism major within the College of Communication. Since arriving on campus in 2010, in addition to his studies, Dexter has been involved in many campus groups, including Umoja, the Admissions Student Diversity Board, the Marching Band, the Howard Thurman Center, and the Student Government Judicial Board. In the spring of 2010, the students elected Mr. McCoy the student body president, and he was re-elected this past spring for a second term. Today, Dexter is here to welcome you on behalf of your fellow students. Mr. McCoy.
Well, good afternoon, Boston University class of 2017. How you doing? There we go. Success. Success is something that each one of us enters college in pursuit of. We go to the best colleges to get the best degrees, to get the best jobs, to live the best lives. We want to be successful doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs. We want to lead revolutions, invent new things, and go where no one has gone before. Now, that's what I thought of 3 years ago when I was sitting in your seats. I thought that college, this new thing for me, was something exciting, something new. Sure, I was eager to find out what college was all about, to be out of the reach of my parents, I know you can sympathize, and to be out on my own and to live my own life. I'm sure these are the same thoughts that are going through your minds right now, and probably the thoughts that have your parents terrified. But that's okay, because college is fun. Freshman year, I was involved in a lot. Heck, I came in so excited that I signed up for every club that would have me at Splash. When I look back on college, I was determined to not regret anything that I did not do. And I stand before you today not regretting anything that I did or did not do, and I want you to make sure that you get involved in as much as you can so that you can look back and not regret anything that you did. Do things determined to not have that ability. After all, these next 4 years are about experiences. One important thing that I've learned is that who you were in high school is not who you have to be in college. This is your opportunity to reinvent yourself, to be who you want to be, to shed the labels that you had in high school, take whatever classes you want to, in the hopes that none of them are at 8 a.m., to choose whatever opportunities you desire, and most importantly, to be you. During your time here, you will spend countless hours in Mugar Library, become more intimate than perhaps you might want to know with it, numerous sleepless nights, and you will encounter that 1, 2, or 3 professors that might just drive you up the wall. But that's all right, because in the end, the point of it all is to make you better. College is just as much about what happens in the classroom as it is what happens outside of the classroom. But don't get me wrong, you're here to get a college education and a degree by the time you finish your time here. Study or not, because here I come, says quizzes and midterms and finals. Guys, take it from me, you might want to pick up a book every now and then. You have the opportunity to reinvent yourself, and I have been thoroughly impressed with what I have seen of this class thus far. But let me pause. A lot of people talk about college as this opportunity to discover who you are. I want to challenge that. This is your opportunity to make yourself the person who you want to be. It doesn't matter where you came from, who got you here, or who even paid the way or signed the loan that got you in this room. You did the work to get here, and you deserve to be recognized for the success in that. And that's what it's all about. You get to shape your experience. So I want you, if you could, just for one moment, to do something for me. Let's try something. You get to dictate what your experience is. And I'm interested in knowing what you want that experience to be. So take out your phones. Take them out. It's okay. And everybody who has Twitter on their phones, I want you to do this for me. These next 2 weeks, I want you to tweet. Every time that you think about something that you want to experience here at Boston University, every time you think about something new you want to try, tweet hashtag first, the number 2, be you. First to be you. And your student government's going to put this all together. We're going to put together a collage of what this experience is going to be, and we're going to put it back at you, and we're going to make it happen with you. So go ahead and tweet hashtag first to be you and tell us what you want to see. But honestly, I realize that success won't always be on your mind, and there comes a time in freshman year when most people start to get homesick and feel lonely. It usually happens around the second week of school after we get in the mix of things, when all the welcome activities have died out and things start to get real. For me, that's when I started spending time in the Howard Thurman Center and going out to random events. That's when I started to take random walks in the public gardens in the Boston Commons. You know, I tried while preparing for this speech to think of what the typical BU experience was and to capture that, but that's just it. At this intersection where worlds collide, as BU Professor Dr. Walker Fluker describes this university, you'll learn that there is no such thing as typical. Here, in this class alone, you have students from all 50 states, from 115 countries from around the world, your future entrepreneurs, business leaders, mathematicians, and teachers. In this class, there are people who enjoy doing things like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, interning at the State Department and in Congress, organizing medical camps in Sri Lanka, and get this, there's even someone in this room who co-authored a textbook on quantum physics. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed. In this university alone, if we decided to change the world today, we could do that. You have the tools at your disposal to experience and create success. So I ask you, as Dr. Howard Thurman once did, what do you want? Really? I challenge you to find what makes you come alive and go out and do that. Because in the words of Dr. Thurman, what the world needs now is for people to discover what makes them come alive and go out and do that. At Boston University, the home of the great and proud Terriers, you can do that. In fact, we expect you to do that. You should expect you to do that. Your world and your community needs you to do that. Determine your success, go out and achieve it. My friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this family of greatness. It is my pleasure to welcome you to your new home. Welcome to Boston University.
Thank you, Dexter. I'm now going to introduce Professor John Finnerty. Professor Finnerty received his PhD in biology from the University of Chicago in 1994. Joining the Boston University College of Arts and Sciences faculty in 1999, he now holds the rank of Associate Professor of Biology. In addition to duties as teacher and researcher in the biology department, Professor Finnerty has made major contributions to the CAS core curriculum and serves as director of the Boston University Marine Program. This past spring, Professor Finnerty was a recipient of the Metcalf Award for Excellence in Teaching, one of the university's most prestigious honors given for the art of teaching. We are delighted to have this scholar, teacher, and mentor with us today. He will speak to you on behalf of our faculty. Professor Finnerty.
Thank you, and welcome to the Boston University class of 2017. I had asked Dexter not to do too good of a job, and if that's not his best effort, then he is very good indeed. Excitement, I think, is the operative word of the day. You could say that it's been raining excitement all day long. There's a mix of excitement and trepidation in you, the incoming freshman, and there's a mix of excitement and pride, which I suspect is tinged with sadness, in your parents. There's also tremendous excitement on this stage today. Why are the faculty and administrators excited? We're excited because of the energy, the creativity, the talent that resides in you. We are confident that this class, the BU class of 2017, is going to build on the tremendous momentum of this great university. We're also excited because we were college freshmen once. I can vaguely remember who I was as a college freshman. I can recall with somewhat greater clarity the person I had become as a college graduate. So I can't help but experience a vicarious thrill because I know that all of you are about to enter a period of tremendous personal growth. I want to talk to you about two ways BU is going to foster that growth. One personal, and the other more academic. First, the personal. One of the most important ways in which Boston University will foster your growth is by bringing you together. The fellow students you meet at BU, friends, acquaintances, even rivals, will challenge you, inspire you, amuse you, nurture you, and even irritate you. And at some point during your time at BU, in a moment of quiet reflection, you may find yourself experiencing profound gratitude for how these wonderfully diverse and talented people have touched your life. Maybe you will find it in your heart to be grateful even for the people who irritate you. It has been said that another person doesn't become truly real to you until they are able to irritate you. If that is true, then during my 14 years at BU, I've become very real to a large number of people. Let me recount for you one of the most interesting and sometimes irritating characters I met during the first days of my freshman year in college back in 1985. To set the scene, I was an aspiring evolutionary biologist from a Pennsylvania coal town. I was 5 inches shorter than I am today, with braces on my teeth and a frequent toothless grin on my face. I looked somewhat tall and mature for a 13-year-old, although I was 17 at the time. This other fellow, let's call him Arthur, was a tight end on the football team and a finance major with a Long Island accent that was sometimes difficult for me to follow. For some reason, Art and I developed the ridiculous habit of wrestling in the basement lounge of our dormitory, though we clearly were not in the same weight class. I'm not sure what precipitated our first wrestling match, but as a result of that contest, the criterion for victory was firmly established. The winner was not the person who pinned his opponent, but rather the person who gave his opponent such a severe wedgie that the waistband of his underwear would tear away from the rest of the garment. Just to be clear, we were fully dressed at the time, and this athletic event took place in a public venue before a crowd of fellow students. As the sound of tearing fabric announced the end of the bout, the victor would then hoist the waistband overhead, much to the approval of the gathered audience. Why do I tell you this story? 2 reasons. First, it illustrates the fact that bright, hardworking, and serious college students will occasionally do ridiculous things. This quasi-weekly wrestling match was particularly ridiculous from my point of view because I never won. And I couldn't really afford to replace the damaged underwear. I suspect that many of you will engage in some form of similarly ridiculous behavior during your time at BU. That's a prediction, not an endorsement. However, if you do engage in ridiculous behavior, keep in mind that the people you're engaging in shenanigans with are people you care about. So don't do anything that would be truly dangerous to them or yourself. A wedgie, even a third-degree compound wedgie, isn't really dangerous, just irritating and therefore very real. My second reason for telling you this story is personal. In a wonderful coincidence, my friend Art, the wrestler, happens to be here today with his daughter, who is a member of the class of 2017. For her sake, I'm not mentioning her by name. And I'd like to say one thing to Art. If a rematch were held today, I'm fairly confident I would win. It's possible that the ways in which you engage your fellow BU students as friends and collaborators may end up having a greater impact on your thinking, your career path, and your life's trajectory than the formal academic programs that are offered at BU. However, let me now talk in very general terms about the academic programs at BU and how they are designed to foster your personal growth by helping you to engage with the big questions and the pressing issues that confront humanity. Many of you are already stressing about the demanding requirements of your academic major and the difficulties you will encounter in your first semester. I know that the biology majors out there are likely looking forward to a semester filled with chemistry lab, biology lab, writing, and a foreign language. It will require a nearly singular focus on coursework for you to excel in all of these demanding classes. However, such a focus can lead to a kind of insular existence, where you travel from your dorm room to classroom, to dining hall, to study hall, without much thought for the big questions, and no direct engagement in pressing issues confronting humanity. And yet, if you are a person who aspires to make a difference, it is those big questions and pressing issues that ultimately motivate your academic pursuits. So, how do you engage real-world problems while excelling in your coursework? Is it possible? At Boston University, it is more than possible to achieve this. In fact, a symbiosis between academic coursework and worldly engagement is part of our institutional DNA. At its essence, Boston University is not merely a repository of knowledge. It is not just a mechanism for transmitting existing knowledge. At its essence, Boston University is really a community of scholars and teachers who are engaged in discovery and invention. Importantly for you, the academic programs at BU are set up so that our undergraduates can collaborate with our faculty in this process of scholarship and discovery and invention. And you can receive academic credit while doing it. Furthermore, Boston University, your university, cannot be accused of being an ivory tower, the hypothetical, walled-off institution where reclusive professors spend their days alone, delving into minutiae that have no bearing on the rest of us. Our institutional personality is quite different, perhaps a reflection of our geography. We are not a walled-in campus. We are a dynamic and vital community in the heart of one of the world's great hubs of research, culture, and enterprise. As an integral part of a worldly metropolis, we are constantly exchanging energy, expertise, and insight with other communities, both near and far. The scholarship undertaken at Boston University is ultimately directed towards improving the human condition in these communities by helping us to better understand the human condition and better understand the environmental conditions that enable people to thrive. My advice to you, as an undergraduate at BU, don't feel that you are too young or too inexperienced or too overcommitted to engage big issues. Unfortunately, when I was in college, I felt that way. Regardless of what college you are in or what your major is, take the opportunity to speak with some of your professors. Ask them about their scholarship. Ask them about ongoing projects. Ask about plans for future projects. And if their scholarship gets you excited, ask if there is an opportunity for you to get involved. It may be on a volunteer basis, it may be for academic credit, or it may even be with BU support through our undergraduate research opportunities program. But regardless of how you participate in scholarship at BU, it will likely turn out to be one of the most rewarding aspects of your college education. Thank you, and welcome again to Boston University.
Thank you, Professor Finnerty. As you formally begin your lifelong relationship with Boston University this afternoon, you join some 300,000 living alumni who've entered this special relationship before you. The alumni are organized through the Boston University Alumni Association, and we are proud to have with us this afternoon one of our finest alumni, the Alumni Association President, Mary Bellezza. Ms. Bellezza is a 1980 graduate of the School of Management, where she earned a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, summa cum laude. She has also earned a Master of Science in Taxation from Bentley University. Mary is currently a partner at the accounting and consulting firm Raphael & Raphael, whose offices are in Boston and Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Since her graduation from BU, Mary has remained an active terrier. She has served as an instructor in the Metropolitan College Financial Planning Program and was a longtime member and past president of the SMG Alumni Board of Directors. She is currently a member of the Athletics Directors Advisory Board and also one of Boston University's Alumni Council, the governing body of the Alumni Association, becoming its president this past July. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Bellezza, who will now offer this year's Alumni Greeting.
Good afternoon, class of 2017. As president of your Boston University Alumni Association, I'm pleased to welcome you, your parents and relatives, to the BU family. You haven't written a single exam yet, but today you actually begin the journey of joining more than 300,000 fellow alumni around the world. We like to think of you as alumni in residence. Our college education and degree become part of our identity, like our name, who we are. You may have noticed I can't even spell my name, Mary Bellezza, without BU. But unlike our name or where we were born, we choose where to study, and we choose to graduate. And as your parents know, it is the most expensive, non-reversible decision you'll ever make. You chose wisely, and BU chose wisely and carefully. You are a member of the most talented and competitive freshman class to ever attend BU. You deserve a round of applause for that. Every once in a while, I'm reminded that I couldn't get in if I applied today. Matriculation speakers around the world will talk about such things as standing on the shoulders of giants or following in the footsteps of those who preceded you. Such admonishments are true, but they don't say enough. Last week, our nation celebrated the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. How many of your fellow high school graduates can claim to be attending his alma mater? I also hope that BU is as transformational for you as it was and as it continues to be for me. You will meet people who will challenge you to think differently about your world. You will learn things you thought you already knew, and you will experience new things, some of which you probably won't share with mom and dad until well later. And perhaps most importantly, you'll begin relationships that will last a lifetime. Some of those relationships may have begun during orientation, or maybe even earlier today. Many more will be formed over the next 4 years, and some wait for you after graduation. Great universities like BU don't just happen. They are a product of a tradition of excellence and of choosing to be great. You chose to be great by attending BU. BU alumni continue to choose to be great in all that they do, including supporting our alma mater. BU alumni don't just cross the stage at commencement and leave the university in their rearview mirror. Last year alone, more than 52,000 alumni and guests participated in over 900 alumni outings around the world. Who knows where your path will take you? With alumni in 187 of the 196 countries in the world, there's a good chance you'll never be too far from a fellow BU alumnus or alumna. A great university has great alumni. A great university has great faculty and great leadership. And a great university has one other critical ingredient: great students. As I look out at you today, I'm pleased to say that seems to be well in place. On behalf of your Alumni Association, welcome. Yes, you have big shoes to fill, but I know you will blaze trails of your own and leave your footprints on our university and our world. Thanks in advance for making me and 300,000 fellow Terriers proud to be alumni. Good luck.
Thank you, Mary. I'm now delighted to introduce to you the president of Boston University, Dr. Robert A. Brown. Educated as a chemical engineer, Dr. Brown was elected the university's 10th president in 2005. Under his leadership, the university is pursuing a strategic plan entitled Choosing to Be Great that is expanding our faculty and strengthening undergraduate education, research, and scholarship. Dr. Brown has received many honors and awards, including membership into the National Academy of Sciences, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and the National Academy of Engineering. It is a great privilege, as well as a pleasure, to introduce to you President Robert A. Brown.
Welcome to the Boston University class of 2017. I also would like to extend a warm welcome to the parents and friends of our newest students who are with us today. My colleagues and I are very pleased to have all of you as part of the Boston University community. To the class of 2017, today the long road to college is over, and now the avenues through your college education into what lies beyond stretch in front of you. You have achieved a great deal. Your academic accomplishments have led you here, into the matriculating class of one of the top private universities in the United States. You have earned a place in this class. The purpose of a matriculation ceremony is simple: to induct you officially into the class of 2017. We will perform that ceremony in a few moments. Before we do, I asked you to bear with me. It is a rare opportunity for me to speak to all of you together and to your parents, and I'd like to take a few minutes to help you think about the opportunity that lies in front of you, and more importantly, how best to take advantage of it. The theme I would like to emphasize this afternoon is captured in one word: change. Much is changing for you already. You've moved into unfamiliar accommodations with new people. You're figuring out how to get the basic amenities, such as food, how to do your laundry, and how to find the nearest Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. These are the simplest changes you're about to experience. Next comes meeting the expectations of Boston University and our faculty members. This means excelling academically in a new, more demanding environment. I'm confident you will do well, as you have had an excellent preparation. This afternoon, I'd rather talk about the types of change you will consider while you're here at Boston University, the kind of change you need in order to prepare yourself for the world you're now entering, and how the next 4 years can make a critical difference for you. While you are with us, I think you should try to answer several questions for yourself. First, why did some things around you change so slowly or not at all? Second, how should you personally change and evolve? And third, how do you create and lead change in organizations around you, either in your profession or community? Before I speak to these questions, I'd like to give you some context so you will fully understand and appreciate Boston University. Few institutions in the United States have experienced as much change as BU. Like many of the great private universities in this country, such as Duke, Vanderbilt, and Syracuse, Boston University was founded as a Methodist institution. It opened as a seminary in Newbury, Vermont in 1839 and relocated to Boston in 1867, right after the end of the Civil War. Built on that seminary, which became our School of Theology, the founding college of Boston University, Boston University was chartered in 1869 by its founders, Lee Claflin, Jacob Sleeper, and Isaac Rich, 3 successful Methodist businessmen in Boston. And I hope you recognize their names. And if you don't, you will soon, especially if you live on West Campus. Chartered just after the end of the American Civil War, Boston University was envisioned as a novel institution for the time, one that combined the qualities of an antebellum liberal arts education, which was common at many independent New England colleges, along with the model of professional and graduate education that was emerging in German universities. Our founding president, William Fairfield Warren, saw Boston University as an institution where students would have the best of both academic worlds. We have stayed true to that vision and have made this combination a strength of Boston University. Today's Boston University is a major research university with a broad array of professional undergraduate programs, and simultaneously we are dedicated to providing a strong liberal arts and science foundation for all of our students. Our founders also saw Boston University as an academic community that was open to all, irrespective of their sex, race, or religion. Boston University opens its doors to all from its beginning. This university claims many firsts, including the first PhD awarded to a woman in 1877, and the first coeducational medical school opening its doors in 1873. Inclusiveness is woven throughout the fabric of Boston University. Martin Luther King Jr., perhaps our most famous alumnus, studied here in the early 1950s, during a period when half of this country's doctoral degrees earned by African American students in religion and philosophy were awarded by BU. Dr. King's dream that people be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character, their actions, and their accomplishments has long been the reality here. Boston University is an urban institution, if you haven't noticed. From our early buildings on Beacon Hill and in downtown Boston, we relocated to the Charles River along Commonwealth Avenue starting in the 1930s. The last academic unit to move to this campus was our School of Law in 1962, only a little over 50 years ago. Today, we are composed of 2 campuses with more than 320 buildings on 135 acres. Our medical campus is located on its original site in the South End, adjacent to the Boston Medical Center, our primary teaching hospital. The 2 campuses are linked by the bus, the BU shuttle, which you see running up and down Commonwealth Avenue. Our Charles River campus features some buildings with iconic academic architecture and others that are very commercially looking, which represent the history of this Boston neighborhood. The original buildings on either side of Marsh Chapel were constructed between 1938 and 1948. The 3 buildings designed by this famous Spanish architect, Joseph Luis Sert, the George Sherman Union, Mugar Memorial Library, and the Law Tower, date from the 1960s. What were previously commercial buildings are also visible along Commonwealth Avenue, from the refurbished automobile showrooms and facilities that are now the homes of the College of Fine Arts and the College of Communication, to the student residences in converted hotels, including Killichon Hall, Miles Standish Hall, and 535 Commonwealth Avenue, affectionately known as Hojo's. The campus continues to evolve and grow. Our latest addition is the new Center for Student Services on Bay State Road that opened last year. I'm sure each of you will spend considerable time there over the next few years, using the student services, using the spaces to study and collaborate, and finding food. Other projects are underway. You can see the construction of the new classroom building adjacent to the Law Tower that will be completed next year. That will be followed by renovation of the tower itself. And if you're in the College of Engineering, pretty good, you will have some of your classes in our new Engineering Product Innovation Center, or EPIC, that is being completed on Commonwealth Avenue, just across from the GSU. Boston University's campus will continue to change around you during your time here. Throughout the decades, Boston University has also changed in its mission and its impact. We've grown from a seminary to a private university founded to serve principally the people of Boston and New England, and now we are a world-renowned research university that serves the nation and the world. Today's Boston University faculty includes leading scholars and researchers in each of the fields of inquiry that are represented across our campuses. Our faculty members form an academic community where the creation of new knowledge, scholarship, and professional accomplishment at national and international levels of distinction go hand in hand with conveying that knowledge and expertise to you. They are high-energy physicists who were part of the team that identified the Higgs boson at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Switzerland. They are public health specialists trying to save lives of newborns in Zambia and developing much-needed medical devices for people in the emerging world. They include neuroscientists working to understand autism, economists and management faculty working to understand global capital markets, and professional musicians and artists. All are expected to be leaders in their fields of study and practice and excellent teachers and mentors for you and our graduate students. As a student, you might at times feel as if you're vying for attention from a particular faculty member. Faculty members are busy, but they do hold undergraduate education as the essential core mission of this university. They also hold office hours. Take advantage of this and get to know them. Make it your goal that when you leave Boston University, you have several faculty members who know you well. Developing these relationships will enhance your education and is a good idea when you need a reference for a job or professional school application. We're joined on the stage by a large group of faculty at today's ceremony. Will the faculty please rise? And will you please give a warm round of applause to your future teachers and mentors? Thank you. Now let me return to the theme of change and the questions I raised before and the opportunities and choices you have at Boston University. First, why do some things around you change slowly or not at all? What types of issues fall in this bucket? For example, why do humans continue to fight with each other? In the face of global warming, why don't societies move rapidly to abandon carbon-based fuels? Why do the economies of the world ebb and flow between feast and famine, between economic growth and recession? Your education at Boston University gives you an opportunity to understand these issues, to acquire the knowledge and methods of scholars who have considered them, and to acquire the foundation to help address these challenges. I'd like to emphasize 4 skills that you should hone while you're here. First, study the great traditions of thought that have informed the action of those who have come before you and that are the foundation of societies and cultures around the world. Second, learn to distinguish between logical and illogical arguments, to struggle with the balances between individual freedom and collective responsibility, and between self-interest and community interest. Third, become scientifically literate to participate in a world where the advantages and limitations of science and technology will be critical topics of public discussion throughout your lives. These often contentious discussions are all around us, from debate over the cost and efficacy of healthcare to the use of embryonic stem cells in medical research and therapies, and to the impact and potential remediation of global warming. Finally, become mathematically literate. And I know a lot of you hate the idea. Numbers can be either as persuasive or as mystifying as words. You need to hone your quantitative reasoning skills to be successful in today's world. How should you personally change and evolve? You're entering college at a time of economic uncertainty. Even though the great financial crisis of 2008 occurred almost a decade before your expected college graduation date, you and your parents are still concerned about how you will make a living and how your professional lives will develop when you leave BU. This concern is justified, and it's time for you to start thinking about the challenge you will face in 4 years. Many of you are in very different places on this assignment. Some of you have already selected a career path and have a vision of your entry point into a profession, either directly through a major in the College of Arts and Sciences or through professional programs such as management, engineering, fine arts, education, or communication. I said it too fast for you to respond. Many of you already are thinking about graduate education, perhaps in law, medicine, management, or some other profession. Some of you honestly don't know what you want to do when you leave Boston University. Each of you, no matter which bucket you're in, should use the resources at Boston University to expand your understanding of your chosen field or to explore your options. Use the Center for Career Development to examine professional opportunities early in your college career. Don't wait until you're a senior to use this important resource. Attend seminars and meetings. Join student organizations that focus on professional fields to better understand potential careers. Your time at Boston University is an opportunity to explore. Make the most of it and don't constrain what you can accomplish here. As an example of what you can do, 24% of last year's seniors graduated having completed 2 or more majors. This is one of the highest percentages of multiple majors among research universities in the country. And it is a testament to the ambition of our students, as well as a measure of our commitment to giving you opportunities across the entire university. Also remember that your opportunities are not limited to Boston. You can engage in the world as part of your education. Last year, some 2,600 of our students took advantage of our 99 study abroad programs in 40 cities and 27 countries. We expect that by the time the class of 2017 graduates, more than 40% of you will have participated in one of our programs in either another country or Washington, D.C. or Los Angeles. And you can experience the world here in Boston, at Boston University. I'm confident that 4 years from now, each of you will have close friends from around the world. In addition to students from the United States, our freshman class includes students from 66 countries, and we have more than 130 countries represented on our campus. Let me give a special welcome to our students from around the world. With all the pressure about finding your way into the professional world, I strongly advise you that you do not lose sight of the ultimate objective, having a long and professionally and personally rewarding life. Use your time at Boston University to take the long-term view toward achieving this goal. Most importantly, becoming well-educated is a fundamental necessity for dealing with what lies ahead. If for no other reason than you can't predict with any certainty your future. There are countless examples of distinguished people who sat at matriculation events such as this one with a focus on a specific career and for whom life has turned out richly different. I am thinking of Boston University alumnus and trustee Andy Lack, who, for example, who attended the College of Fine Arts with the intent to become a musician and has had a long and distinguished career in the news industry and is now chairman of Bloomberg News. Our trustee, Nina Tassler, came to BU to be an actress and is now president of CBS Entertainment. Ben Fishman, a graduate of the College of Communication, co-founded the store Lids while a Boston University student, and then the internet-based shopping site Rue La La. I also know pretty well a chemical engineer who became a university president. Each of these people has been able to make the most of the unexpected paths that unfolded in their lives. Your ability to seize opportunities and accomplish transformations in your life will be built on the quality of your education, the foundation of which you lay stone by stone over the next 4 years. You should do this so you can do what the famous philosopher and Yankee catcher Yogi Berra recommended. When you come to the fork in a road, take it. I did it. I found a way to say something nice about a Yankee in Boston. We all know that your Boston University education will not be limited to the classroom and laboratories. Both in Boston and elsewhere, in internships and exchange programs, you'll have the opportunity to engage with the city and the world. And then there is the rest of your time in college. One of the most significant changes in your life is your responsibility for the choices you begin to make outside of the classroom. This brings me to emphasize a topic that I wish I did not need to discuss, but I must: the potential for engaging in risky behavior, especially as it relates to binge drinking and underage drinking in general. You all know what I mean. Consuming multiple drinks in a short time span, either before a game or during a night out, to show off for your friends or just to do what you think everybody else is doing. Having 2 drinks for an average woman or 3 drinks for an average man in 1 hour can leave you impaired in judgment and coordination. If you keep drinking at that rate, you raise your blood alcohol level to a dangerously high level, leaving yourself potentially incapacitated where others might take advantage of you, or simply result in you waking up in a pool of your own stomach contents, either in your bed, some other unfamiliar place, or at the emergency room. Graphic, isn't it? This could result in your removal from student housing. For some, the consequences can be much, much worse. Some of you might believe your actions on Friday or Saturday night won't have any impact on your academic performance. Let me give you some numbers that might be sobering. In a recent year, the median freshman GPA for students for whom medical treatment was sought because of one binge drinking episode was almost 0.3 grade point below that of the average of the entire freshman class. The GPA of this very distinguished group of students, those needing medical attention because of binge drinking, fell in the lowest quartile of our freshmen. Is that what you want to achieve? I am betting it isn't, nor is it your parents' expectations. All of this is not necessary. I wrote to your parents earlier this summer specifically about this issue, and I hope that they talked with you about the risks you take if you binge drink. At last count, 95% of you had already completed the Alcohol EDU online program. For the last 5%, please complete it soon. It is a requirement. I ask you today to act responsibly. Don't take unnecessary risks. Through your behavior, represent yourselves, your families, and your university well. And if you believe you need help with issues that arise, we're here for you. From the resident assistant on your floor, in your residence, to the staffs of the Office of the Dean of Students, in behavioral medicine, in the Student Health Center, in the Center for Sexual Assault Response and Prevention, SARP. These resources are here to help you. There are many ways for you to engage in the community at large that go well beyond the clubs on Lansdowne Street. Boston University is part of the fabric of Boston in uncommon ways, whether it's through the treatment of patients by the faculties of the medical and dental schools and the Boston Medical Center, involvement of the School of Education in the public schools of Boston, or working with the city to revitalize Commonwealth Avenue and Kenmore Square. We're actively engaged in the life of the city. You are now a member of this urban community, and I hope you will actively participate in it. Some of you already have begun to do this by attending FISOP, the first-year student outreach project. 850 of you spent 4 days last week at 136 sites performing more than 22,000 hours of community service. May I ask our FISOP volunteers to stand? And thank you on behalf of Boston University. And thank you for wearing your t-shirts. Boston University students are very engaged in the community. Last year, our students working through the Community Service Center performed 96,000 hours of community service. In fact, as part of the university's comprehensive campaign, our student body has pledged 1 million hours of community service. With 4 years to go, they already have amassed well over 330,000 hours. Now, my final question was about change was, how do you create and lead change in organizations around you, either in your profession or in your community? First, participate and learn to lead. Participating in organizations, whether they are club sports, student organizations, or community service groups, is a first step that gives you a taste of the challenges and satisfactions that come with leadership. Academically, there is a focus that I suggest. Learn to write clearly and easily. Your ability to communicate with others is critical in your role in your profession and in society. You might have great ideas and brilliant insights, but you'll never get them across effectively in text message English. IMHO, which stands for in my humble opinion, will never be as effective as I think, as strong as I believe, or as powerful as I know. We've been reminded this week about how 50 years ago, one Boston University graduate, Martin Luther King Jr., led the transformation of our society through his actions, his oration, and the simple phrase, "I have a dream." Today is a special day for all of you, and we celebrate your matriculation into Boston University and imagine all that you can accomplish in the future. It is important that you acknowledge the support and love that got you to this moment in your life. Besides your own ambition and hard work, your parents gave you a strong foundation morally, emotionally, and financially. May I ask the members of the class of 2017 to rise, turn around, and applaud the parents and family and friends who are with us today, please. May I ask the parents, family, and friends who are with us to rise and applaud this wonderful group of adults, young adults. Thank you. I knew I could engineer a standing ovation. All of you in this arena are now members of the Boston University community, one community dedicated to the education of young people and to the creation of knowledge for the betterment of mankind. Universities are ancient institutions dating at least to the medieval times and are full of tradition, purpose, and promise. As the class of 2017, you're participating this afternoon in several important Boston University traditions. You've marched with our Dean of Students, Ken Elmore, in the rain, down Commonwealth Avenue. You sit here together as the matriculating Boston University freshman class, one Boston University student body representing 9 schools and colleges. Finally, in a few minutes, you will go through our last ritual of this matriculation day, when we acknowledge each academic unit and officially induct you into the student body of Boston University. After this ceremony and throughout your years at BU, you will pursue your academic and social interests and develop your circle of friends. For much of the next 4 years, you will identify most with the school or college. In 4 years, you'll come together again as one class at your graduation ceremony on Nickerson Field, where, like our faculty this morning, you will wear traditional academic regalia. I hope that during your 4 years, you will keep connected to this great university. Attend lectures, concerts, and sporting events. Become involved with organizations. Become part of the community. Take pride in what all members of our community are accomplishing in research and scholarship, in their professions, and in service. I hope that you will find yourselves changing, growing intellectually, and expanding your interests, both inside and outside the classroom. Moreover, I hope you'll expand your ability to imagine. I hope you'll take time to dream, to pursue your grandest goals, so that your education is all that it ought to be. Your time here is precious and hard-earned. Use it well. Good luck.
Thank you, President Brown. I'm pleased to now introduce Dr. Jean Morrison, University Provost and Chief Academic Officer. In this role, Dr. Morrison provides leadership in the university's overall academic, budgetary, and planning processes. And she also oversees its academic programs, research enterprise, global programs, and student recruitment and success. Prior to her appointment here, Dr. Morrison served as Executive Vice Provost for Academic Affairs at the University of Southern California. A nationally recognized geologist and professor of earth science, Dr. Morrison is a teacher at heart. And while at USC, she earned the university's highest teaching honor and founded its Women in Science and Engineering program. Please welcome the University Provost, Dr. Jean Morrison.
Matriculation is among the most ancient of university traditions. The word comes from the Latin word matricula, itself derived from the word mater, or mother. At the earliest universities, which arose in Europe in the 13th and 14th centuries, upon admission, students went through a formal matriculation ceremony in recognition of the special status they held in the society of that time. You are about to enter into a special bond with this university. Within the university's classrooms and laboratories, your abilities will be shaped and nurtured. Frequently, difficult demands will be made of you, but we are confident, however, that you will not only meet these challenges, but that you will excel. President Brown.
Provost Morrison.
President Brown, I would like to present the freshman members of the university's undergraduate schools and colleges. As the members of each school and college are introduced, I ask them to please rise and remain standing until all have been formally matriculated. Would Dean Arun Upneja of the School of Hospitality Administration please step to the microphone?
Dean Upneja.
President Brown, I have the honor to present the members of the School of Hospitality Administration, class of 2017.
Would Dean Hardin Coleman of the School of Education please step to the microphone?
Dean Coleman.
President Brown, I had the honor and pleasure to present the members of the School of Education class of 2017.
Better.
All right. Would Dean Benjamin Juarez of the College of Fine Arts please step to the microphone?
Dean Juarez.
President Brown, it's my honor to present the members of the College of Fine Arts class of 2017.
Would Dean ad interim Kathleen Morgan of the Sargent College of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences please step to the microphone?
Dean Morgan.
President Brown, it is my very great honor to present the members of the Sargent College of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences, class of 2017.
Would Dean Thomas Fiedler of the College of Communication please step to the microphone?
Dean Fiedler.
President Brown, with the silver-tongued Dexter McCoy, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the College of Communication class of 2017.
Would Dean Ken Luchin of the College of Engineering please step to the microphone?
Dean Luchin.
President Brown, I have the honor to present the epic members of the College of Engineering class of 2017.
Would Dean Kenneth Freeman of the School of Management please step to the microphone?
Dean Freeman.
President Brown, I have the honor to present the members of the class of 2017 from the School of Management.
Would Dean ad interim Natalie McKnight of the College of General Studies please step to the microphone?
Dean McKnight.
President Brown, I am proud to present the members of the College of General Studies class of 2017.
Would Senior Associate Dean Susan Jackson of the College of Arts and Sciences please step to the microphone?
Dean Jackson.
President Brown, I have the honor to present, last and not least, the members of the class of 2017 in the College of Arts and Sciences.
Thank you, Dean Jackson. President Brown, on the recommendation of the deans and faculties of our schools and colleges, I request that you matriculate the members of Boston University class of 2017.
Thank you, Provost Morrison. On behalf of Boston University's Board of Trustees, I hereby formally admit you to student status and declare you matriculated members of the Boston University class of 2017. Congratulations, study hard, and good luck. You may be seated.
Congratulations. In a moment, this afternoon's program will conclude with the singing of the university song Clarissima. Following the conclusion of this program, all students are invited to take part in Scarlet Fever, which will be held on Nickerson Field. Freshmen, please leave Aganis Arena by the same door you entered, where university staff will direct you to Nickerson Field. All parents are invited to a reception which will be held in the 3-court gym on the lower level of the Fitness and Recreation Center. As you leave the arena, turn left onto Commonwealth Avenue and proceed down to Buick Street. President Brown looks forward to seeing you there. Now, will all members of the university faculty and administration and the now matriculated members of the class of 2017, please rise for the singing of Clarissima. We will be led by Melanie Berbulis, member of the College of Fine Arts, class of 2014. Following Clarissima, please remain standing until the platform party and the faculty have left the arena.